Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to take a look at the question, how can we edit video content? That's part of our week 4 learning goal, right, of building that instructional video. Today specifically, we're going to focus on how we can edit our visuals together to create a single video that tells a story. First, I wanted to talk about video editors. Okay, these are programs that let you edit clips of videos together and add or subtract things and edit in secondary structure, right? All sorts of tools. There are a range of video editors available, from the very professional and expensive to the less professional to some that are simpler to use. So I just wanted to talk about a few here. As far as professional level, industry staple video editors, I think Adobe Premiere kind of takes the cake. Adobe Premiere has been around a long time. It's been a very successful editing software. It's at the point now where most Adobe products, they want you to pay a yearly subscription or a monthly subscription to access them. So I wouldn't recommend starting there, but if you really see yourself as a video editor, this is your long-term job, Adobe Premiere might be something you start checking out. As far as instructional design, there's an app called Camtasia that includes both video editing and video recording. I think Camtasia is probably the most popular video editor that I've heard in instructional design circles. I've seen it listed in a few resumes and been in a few interviews where it was brought up. So if you want to stick with a video editor that you're most likely to use in an instructional design position down the road, I think Camtasia is a great option. There's also DaVinci Resolve. It's a very high-end video editor that does have kind of a free trial and a free level subscription. So that's something you can check out if you want that high-quality video editor. I think all three of those are great options. But that being said, a lot of times in the field of instruction, the field of education, we don't need a fancy video editor. We just really need something that can make small cuts and put clips together. Okay, so a lot of times you might have something on your computer already that came with your operating system that can do this. Okay, a lot of the videos we've seen in this class, I've used Microsoft Clipchamp to put together. I don't remember downloading that. I think that came with my version of Windows, but that's something that, can easily cut and edit clips together, and it's already on your operating system. That's a great option. Okay, it doesn't really matter which video editor you use. They're all pretty similar. I think learning some basic skills in any of these will translate. Okay, so you might try the Microsoft version. If you have an Apple computer, maybe you have iMovie on there already. Okay, that's fine to use. Today, we're going to try out a free and simple video editor called Kdenlive. Okay, so if you have none of those other movie editors and you want to try one today, I would recommend Kdenlive. It's an open source one, so it's free. There's no account. You just download it and go. Okay, but like most things in this class, most of the time when we're talking technology, there are many ways to edit videos. Okay, there are many different applications out there. You can pick and learn with whichever one you feel comfortable with for this class. Okay, I'm not going to require you to use one of these specifically. But we're gonna try out Kdenlive today. So let's take a look at that. So this is the website for Kdenlive. I will leave this in our module so you guys can download that if you need a video editor. You just come to the website here, and there's a couple different options to download. We can click the download tab at the top. And then whether you're on Linux, Windows, or Apple, okay, you can just click whichever download you need. I just clicked on the little Windows installable button since I have Windows. And then that downloads, you can run that, and then we get to our program. Now, before we get into the video editing, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the example I'm going to go over. Okay, so for today's example, when I'm showing you how these edits work, we're going to be creating just a little video that shows Reno residents, the Rancho San Rafael Dog Park. And we're just following our ARCS model here in our outline. We're going to gain the user's attention by asking them if their dog is bored, showing them a little video of a dog. We're going to add relevance to the topic by telling them, we'll take your dog to the dog park. We're going to build confidence in our learners by showing them what the dog park looks like. And then enhance satisfaction by showing them on a map of how to get there. Okay, so these are the 4 little parts of our video today. Probably not the best outline or best instructional video in the world, but it'll work as a basic example. Okay, we have these 4 clips. We would like to edit them together to make one coherent video. So let's take a look at what that looks like. All right, so first let's take a look kind of at the overlay of Kdenlive. I've worked with probably 4 or 5 video editors over the years, and they're all pretty similar. They have a timeline, usually in the bottom left. Okay, this is where we're going to place our clips, and we're going to place them in a specific order so that we can play them in the video, right? Usually there are multiple lines. If you want to cut from one video to another, we have 2 lines of video here, V1 and V2. And we have 2 tracks for audio, audio 1 and audio 2. Okay, so that allows us to really transition from one video to another if we want to be fancy. Most times, educational-wise, I just stick with the single track is more than enough. Other things we have some preview screens in the top right, and we have some audio mixers in the bottom right, and then obviously a host of options in the top here, and as well as some options in the bottom. So lots of things here. If you guys want to play with the different settings and options and properties, you can. I just really want to go over the basics with this video, so we'll just go over a few details that'll help you get started. All right, so we're ready to begin working here, but before we can begin editing clips together, we need clips to edit. Okay, as you can see in the top left, this is kind of our library here. We have nothing available to pull from. So what we first need to do is come up to this little media icon, click on that drop down, and there's an option to add a clip or a folder. Okay, so before we can edit our clips, we need to add them to the project. So the very first thing we're going to do, we're going to click that drop down. We're going to click add clip or folder. We're going to navigate to wherever your videos are. Mine are in downloads. And I'm going to hold shift, click on all those and hit OK. Okay, you might get a few pop-ups here to fix some settings on things, but it looks like everything is now loaded in. Notice how I like to label clips so they're already in order. Okay, so we have Dog Park 1 audio, Dog Park 1 video, Dog Park 2, 3, and 4. Okay, that's just something personally that I like to do, is I always choose a naming convention that'll help me when I'm setting up the video. Okay, the last thing you want is a million clips named random things and then to have to figure out which one's which and how to put them together and that sort of thing. But now we have our clips, we've imported them. The next step now is we can look at placing them onto our timeline. All right, so to place objects onto your timeline, it's as simple as dragging and dropping our clip. Okay, so we wanted to start with Dog Park 1 video. This is a stock video, so we don't need to cite this one. We can just drag that onto our video 1 timeline. Okay, and now we have our little clip of our dog. Okay, the left clip here, we can see the video of the clip itself. And on the right, we can see whatever is on our project if we move that timeline over. Okay, hopefully my picture's not too much in the way. But that's the preview window there in the top right. You can see wherever you're at on the timeline in that video. Okay, so we just have a little video of a dog's ears popping up and going down. Okay, nothing too crazy. But we just want to introduce the topic, right? So our first scene, we're just saying, is your dog bored? And then we're going to show a bored dog. Okay, I also recorded some audio. Okay, we recorded that as a question, is your dog bored? So we can also drag our Dog Park 1 audio down to our timeline. Okay, notice the way I recorded it, it does have a video. So I cannot drag it on top of our dog park here, okay, of our dog. So I'm going to drag it instead to video 2. And notice it goes to video 2 with audio 2. What we can do is if we click these, notice how both are selected. If I right click now, I have the option to ungroup clips. Okay, so when you drag in a video that also has audio, it's going to be grouped together. If you want to ungroup it, in this case, we just want to use that audio file, I can hit ungroup clips. I'm going to delete that empty video, okay, because really we just want the audio. And now when they see this picture of the dog, they will also hear my audio of me asking, is your dog bored? Okay, so that's the idea there. So that's how you drag audio onto a video clip. Okay, as we just add it to that other channel. You might have to ungroup it first, but now they'll play together. Okay, and I would demo it for you guys, but I don't have recording turned on because I don't want you to hear the email ping, so you won't be able to hear desktop sounds. But that's the main idea, okay? We have our first clip. We can drag our second clip onto the timeline as well. Maybe there. Notice this one comes with some audio. Okay, think of the owner calling their dog or something. So maybe we want to ungroup that clip. Okay, we don't want that random stock audio in our video. So I'm going to delete that. Okay, we just want to keep the video here. We can look at Dog Park 3 and add that next. Once again, ungrouping to get rid of our audio. Okay, we just want our own audio in the footage here. And we can take a look here. Okay, maybe we don't want this video from YouTube. You can see it's 8 minutes long here on our timeline. Okay, pretty long. And zoom out on that timeline, usually with Control and the mouse wheel. There we go. So we can zoom out a little bit. You can see how long that YouTube video is. So why don't we cut that down some? Okay, maybe we don't want to show that entire video. We just want to show them a snapshot of our dog park. So let's take a look at our preview window in the top right here. I am a little bit in the way. Why don't I'm going to try to move myself down here. Hopefully I am not in the way now. Okay, so we can look at our preview window in the right and decide where we want to cut. We got the title in this YouTube video. That's pretty good. We have a date that we don't really care about for our instructional video. And then we have the dog running up here. Let's see. And the dog's running around. So you can kind of look through the video previewer and decide, well, what do we really want in our video? Where do we want to cut this? Okay, so maybe we're looking through and I decide I want some live action shots of the dogs running through the field. I think this is pretty good here. So why don't we come into the clip here as the dogs enter the frame? Okay, so if I want to start my clip here, what I do is I can hit the scissors tool or the razor tool and click on where I want to make my cut. And that now splits that into 2 clips. Okay, we can go back to our selection tool. We can click on that beginning part of the clip and hit delete. Okay, so now our clip starts where we want it. Okay, we're going to cut from this dog looking like he wants to go to the dog park to dogs running around. And maybe that's all we want, is that little clip of them running around. Maybe a little walking around. Maybe to there looks pretty good, okay? Well, we can just click on our scissors again, click on where to cut. And now we've cut down this long video that was 8 minutes into 30-second clip showing that dog park. Okay. Now we do need to add a citation since this is something we downloaded from YouTube. Okay, we need to add a reference there, but we're going to come back to that. Right now we're working on the timeline. So let's finish that timeline aspect. Let's add in one more video here. And video 4 here shows where that dog park is on the map. Okay, so I can just drag and drop that in to finish. Oops, I have my scissor tool selected there. We can always just edit, undo, or hit Control Z if we make a mistake. We'll drag that back in. Okay, always try to drag it so that your clips are touching. That way we go from one to the next. Okay, with our dog park recording, it doesn't look like there's any audio, but just to be safe, I'm gonna ungroup and delete that audio clip since I don't want any background noise in there. And now you can see we have our 4 clips cut together. Okay. We have our dog. We have the audio asking, is your dog bored? We cut to a dog looking like he wants to have some fun, looking over. Hey, what's over there? Right. Our next scene. Hey, it's the dog park, right? We're showing everyone the dog park. And then in scene 4, we're showing you on the map. Here's how you get there. You drive around these streets, yada, yada, yada. Okay. And normally with this chunk, you'd probably would have some audio talking about how to get there, but we could always add that in later. But the important thing, now we know how to use the timeline. We know how to cut videos down and edit them together. Okay, so this is a pretty good start. But since we did use a YouTube video, we do need to add a citation. So that's the next thing I want to talk about, is adding in some text overlay. All right, so next we need to add some text to wrap this video up. Okay, I'd like to add text to this video 2 here. Okay, just a little caption of our dog looking around like he wants to go to the park. And then I'd like to add a YouTube citation for our YouTube clip here. Okay, so I'd like to add text in 2 different spots. Now, adding text varies from video editor to video editor. And some of them you will have to add text as its own clip and then overlay the clips on top of each other. In other video editors, it's an effect that you can add on to an existing clip. Okay, with Kden Live, the way I've found to add text is if we come over here to our sequences, right, in the project bin, our little library here, I can right click or click on that media drop down. And I believe adding the title clip is a way to add text as well, but for some reason, I'm not sure if my download didn't work great, but that is grayed out for me for some reason, but I found a workaround, okay? So if you're working with Kden Live and that button works, you can try that, but if not, what you can do is click on Add Template Title. Okay, and they give us a few different template options, a scrolling text box, one with date, or just a simple one. So I just chose the simple one at the bottom and then hit OK. And what that'll do is it'll add a clip, okay, that's 5 seconds long with the words text here in the middle. Okay, so we want to edit this. I'll hit OK. And we want to tweak this. Okay, so let's take a look at that first clip. We're gonna annotate here. It has our dog looking off to the back. He's a little offset to the right here. I probably don't want my text right in the middle or it'll be right on top of the dog. So maybe we go top center. Maybe even a little offset center or offset on the top. Okay, and our dog, he's looking around like he wants to go to the park. So he's telling the owner, let's go to the dog park. Okay, so I've just changed the text. I clicked in there. Notice you can click on it to move it around. You can double click to edit the text. Okay, pretty straightforward if you've used these types of programs before. Other things that jump out at me, this white text might be pretty hard to read on this background here. Okay, we got some grays, kind of a lighter brown maybe, and white text might be tough to read there. So if I want to change that text, we can come over here on the right. We have a bunch of properties. Okay, I'm going to opt for black text here. Black text stands out on a lot of stuff. If you're still not standing out on your video, you can always add a background. Okay, we can do things like tweaking the font if we'd like. Maybe you're not a fan of Arial and you want to switch that around. Kind of whatever, right? We got lots of options here. But the important thing is we're making this title that we can put onto our video, right? We're overlaying that text. So I'm going to hit update title after all of that. And then I'm going to hit save in project only. Okay, we're not trying to overwrite the sample title. We're just creating this, tweaking this little clip here. Notice our clip is still 5 seconds. Okay, so let's go back into edit. I forgot to tweak that detail because our clip 2 is 6.04 seconds. So we would like that duration to match up. So I'm going to come in here. I can change that to 6:04. And we'll just update again. Now notice when I drag this to the timeline, it'll line up perfectly with my dog park video. Okay, so we can see in the top right, you see the video, you see the text overlay. Okay, not bad, not great, not the most readable thing. Maybe we could tweak the positioning a little bit so you can always come in here and edit again. And maybe we don't like the text on the top since the dog is looking around at the top of our picture. Maybe instead, let's try it at the bottom left, a little bit offset. Make it update. And just take a look again, right? You can hit play on your previewer to see it at live speed, but the dog's looking around. Yeah, I think that's a little better. Okay, so we've added text to our first clip here. We also want to add text to our next clip to give it that YouTube citation. So we'll take a look at that next. All right, so we have our title for our second clip. We want to add an overlay for our third clip for our YouTube citation. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll through our third video here, take a look at it, kind of get a feel for where's the action, where can we put a citation that won't get in the way of where the viewer is likely to look. Okay, so just a quick look through this video. And what sticks out to me is the dogs are usually on the bottom of the video frame. Okay, something like this. Or they're on the left side of that video frame. Okay, as we start coming down a little closer to the start. Yeah, they're on the left side quite a bit as well. So what I'm thinking is the top right might be a good spot for our title. Okay, and this isn't something will super make or break your project, but just something to be mindful of, right? Where am I going to put my title? Where am I going to put my overlay? If you're putting a picture overlay, right? Always want to make sure we're not blocking the action when possible. Okay, so I'd like to put my title in the top right. Notice our last title is still named template title clip. That might be a little confusing if I add another title here. So first, before we add our new title, let's rename this last one. This is our title for our second clip. So I'll just call it title.2. And then I'm going to add a new title using my add clip button, clicking on add template title, and clicking on just that simple title. It should be fine. All right, so now I have a new title clip. I can right click, go to edit. Okay. My text is going to be that YouTube citation. So I'm going to copy and paste. I already have this citation drawn up from on the Word document. And it's looking a little big. Why don't we make it a little smaller here? Maybe size 40 font. That looks a little better. And then we'll add a couple breaks in here. Maybe an enter for Rancho San Rafael. And then an enter before the YouTube channel. Okay, so we have something like this. White text probably will be tough to see on this background. Okay, we got some light green, almost yellowish, and we got some blue in the sky. So why don't we just go black text again? So we'll just select all this and change it to black. I think I changed the outline instead of the actual text. Okay, because we're on gradient here. So if I switch this to solid color text, we'll go black text. That looks good. All right. And now we have our little overlay. Okay. Doesn't look amazing formatted this way. Okay, I'm looking at it like, oh, maybe our YouTube link goes to the right. Maybe we'd be better in the top left or the bottom left. Actually, I think we have room on the top left. Why don't we try that? Let's go top left. Just because I didn't like that our title isn't sitting flush on the right there. So instead, let's pivot to top left. Okay, this is all semantics at the end of the day. Just style choices, but that should work. Okay, we can update. And then once again, we're going to save in project. Now we have our edited title. However, Dog Park 3, our video here is a little longer of a clip. Okay, we're going from, let's see, 624 to 4818 here. So I do want to edit that duration. Okay, we could do a little math to figure out exactly how long this clip needs to be. But I don't think we have to show it the whole clip. Maybe we'll just show it the first about 15 seconds. Okay. We'll rename this. This will be title.3. Caps lock snuck on somehow there. Title.3. We can drag that into our video here, and you can see we'll show that title at the start of the video. And then it cuts away in the middle of the video. Okay, which is fine. We have cited it. We've shown everyone kind of what this is. Is that title a little distracting? Yes, the citation's a little long. Okay, maybe you could do a shorter citation and a references slide at the end if that's a concern. But for this class, I think that's fine. Okay, the biggest thing I want you guys to get comfortable with is kind of working with this program, editing clips together, knowing how to use that snipping tool, and just being able to add that text overlay. That's the big thing here. So we're just getting comfortable with these tools. Okay, but that is how we would add our text overlay. And our project's looking pretty good here. I think I've shown you guys all we need to know. We are ready to export, I think, this project. Let's take a look at exporting next. Okay, so to turn this into one single video, what we want to do at the end is export our video. And to do that in Kdenlive, there is a drop down under the project menu at the top. And under Kdenlive, instead of calling it export, they call it render. Okay, so to render our video, we go to project, render. There's lots of presets. Okay, MP4 is fine. If you want to make a GIF, you have that option as well. But for most videos, MP4 should work. There's a box at the top that says output file. You can click the little box next to it if you want to choose what folder and what the name is of your video. So maybe we'll just give this a name. We'll call it Dog Park Video. Okay, and then we just click render to file. It'll pop up into our job queue. And then once that's done, we will have our short little video in that MP4 format. Okay, and then from there, you can upload that to YouTube and you're good to go. Okay, so just check on my list here. I think that's all I had to cover today as far as video editing. I think these are kind of the basics, just the ability to add clips to the timeline, cut them, trim them, add audio, add some text overlay. If you can do that, you can create a lot of basic instructional videos. All right, as far as remaining tasks for today, there is no reading since today is kind of a tech-heavy day. As far as the tools to explore, I just have some links for you guys to the different video editors. Okay, if you don't already have a preference, I would recommend trying one of these out. Okay, if you don't mind paying for a description or a subscription or utilizing a free trial, you could try out Adobe or Camtasia. And some good free options are DaVinci or Kdenlive, like I was showing you today in our tutorials. There is no quiz since, once again, today is kind of the tech practice day. And your one assignment is to finish that project 3. Okay, putting together that instructional video. Hopefully you guys found some class or some clips last class. And today we're just going to put them together. We're going to add some titles. And then you can submit that project. Let's take a look at what project 3 looks like. All right, here is our final set of instructions for project 3. Okay, I think you guys probably have a good idea where this is going from parts 1 and 2. But we're just putting that whole video together in project 3. Okay, as far as grading wise, when I'm taking a look at this, your analysis section will be 10 points. As well as the design section. So make sure you're submitting a document that has the answer to our analysis questions. That also shows just a quick outline and a quick storyboard. Okay, that'll be worth 20 points there for that first chunk, right? That analysis and design phase. And then the actual video, okay, you can submit a link to that video hosted on YouTube or another file or video hosting site. But that video is going to be worth 80 points. And I am looking for 4 types of clips in your video. You can have more clips. Okay, you can show multiple stock videos is fine, but I'm looking for at least one of each of these clip types. I want to see an in-person recording. Okay, something you recorded that made its way into your instructional video. I want to see you utilize a stock video and add in a voiceover. Okay, so you guys know how to record. So just record a clip of you talking about whatever's in that stock video. And then like we worked today with the editing, you want to add the video and add the audio as well onto that timeline. Okay, clip 3, I want to see you have a YouTube clip included in your instructional video with that citation. Okay, so we're practicing not only downloading a video from YouTube that we can include, but also practicing that text overlay. Okay, adding that title, adding that citation. And 4, our last clip, you have the option here. If you tried out the animation generators, okay, feel free to include that clip. If you made a cartoon or animation, that's great. And if you weren't quite up for that, if that felt a little too advanced, I'm fine with a screen recording of any educational app. Okay, this could be a presentation similar to last week of you just recording a few slides. That's fine. For clip number 4, this might be you talking over Desmos or GeoGebra if you're a math teacher, right? Maybe you got an on-screen calculator you're talking about. This could be maybe a map. And you're discussing a map if you're a history teacher. Okay, so I'm going to leave that really open. But I just like some kind of educational app. Okay, record something interesting that'll add to that instructional video. Okay, so hopefully this makes sense. As always, reach out if you have any questions on any of this. But this is kind of the goal. This is what we're building to. This will be our last project in this class. So you guys are almost there. Knock out this project, couple more discussions next week, and then we're home free. But yeah, you guys have been doing a great job so far. So keep up the good work. Let me know if you're stuck on any of this, any questions on the video editing or recording or anything like that. And then you guys have a wonderful day. Happy 4th. If you don't get to this till the 5th or 6th, that's fine. Remember, it's due Monday. It's due the 7th. So enjoy the holiday, whether it's before or after this video. I hope you guys all have a good one.